Okay, so picture this. There's a child laying on its tummy on its bed with a pillow pulled over the back of its head, trying to muff its ears because it's hearing its parents just arguing and fighting in the living room just down the hall. That's one of the many scenarios many kids just talk about after they've gone through a divorce because their parents were arguing, whatever it might be. Today I'm going to be talking to you about divorce and why I feel we should avoid divorce at all costs if possible. Start off with, I want to pull a little Bible into it. As many of you know, the Bible does clearly state that man and woman are supposed to be together in marriage, as well as divorce is not supposed to be a thing that happens. I pulled the story from Adam and Eve, where Eve was created from Adam, from his rib, that God had created her to be with Adam and them to be married, and then to also, of course, populate the earth. But there's many other scriptures I could have pulled, of course, from the Bible that talks about marriage and divorce. We're also going to go through some of the people affected. As I listed at the beginning of the speech, we talked about a child who was going through it and listening to their parents arguing. But kids, of course, one of the main that are affected by divorce. Of course, you have your spouses, extended family, and also friends. My main concern when I was thinking about this speech was children. As for myself, I did go through my parents' divorce when I was younger, and being young and not knowing kind of what was going on, that was a very hard thing to go through at the time. I remember being angry because I was just confused and not sure what was happening. So that led to many fights, especially between more so my dad and myself. And so that was where my heart was for coming behind this speech and bringing it to attention of course, not getting a divorce. As well as I wanted to bring in some facts. These are some facts that I found from a survey done in 2012, and it said that 41% of first marriages will end in divorce, 60% of second marriages will end in divorce, and 73% of third marriages will end in divorce. Now, knowing that we're in 2016 and how our world is in a state of just utter chaos already, I'm sure those numbers have increased. So those are my sources that I had pulled from this speech. But I did have a video to show you of a child that's around probably 6 years old or so, 4 or 6 years old, talking to her mom that had gone through a divorce. Now, when I pulled that video, I actually originally had saw it on Facebook, and scrolling through back then, I really didn't think too much of it. I could relate to it a little bit, but I just thought of it as an adorable video. But as I was working on my speech and I was thinking about something to pull as a visual aid, but also as something to show, I thought that was the best way it could have been explained. So that was from a little kid and her perspective of going through divorce. But I feel like she could have done the speech much better than I could have. But that is my speech about divorce, and I hope that it has brought some insight and some light to those that have either been through or are married currently. Thank you.
Wow.